Hello and welcome to Theme Park Information. In today's in-depth episode we'll be discussing Heide Park, which is located in Soltau, Germany. To start with, we're going to discuss how to get there. Now, I personally flew from Stansted to Bremen, which is a reasonable flight, about an hour long. Heide Park itself is still about an hour or so's train journey away from Bremen itself, but that's not particularly difficult. It's about 4 stops and costs about €16. It's not particularly challenging. It is a bit awkward getting to the from the airport to the train station. You have to take a bit of a tram, but even that's fairly straightforward and simple. But that still costs €2 or €3. Once you get to the park, I'd highly recommend, as a top tip, getting the 2-day ticket. I'd also highly recommend staying in Soltau itself. The town is really pretty, picturesque, beautiful, peaceful. Has everything you really want from a small German countryside town, but it also is quite cheap, and you're so close to the park that you don't really need to stay at the accommodation on site. You can easily walk, or probably best to get a taxi from the park to and from there each day. In terms of the rides and attractions at Heide Park, we have Scream, which is the 103-metre high drop tower, which is stunning. Love the fact it kind of rotates on its way up, and at the top has a powerful drop, really good brakes. It's in a really good location. It really works nicely for the park. We don't have Flight of the Demon, their new B&M wing coaster, which is excellent, opened in 2014 and far better than the Swan at Fort Park. It's a really good ride, 5 inversions, a little bit of airtime, near misses, in a really nice themed area. And then we have Colossus, the Entenmann prefabricated wooden roller coaster with an incredible drop, loads of airtime, really painful and uncomfortable helix, but other than that, that small part of the ride, it's a great ride. They also have a couple of Vekoma roller coasters in Limit and Big Loop. I would possibly only recommend riding those once each. They're not really anything special. They're very easy to miss out. They also have Desert Race, which is a fairly innocuous Rita clone. It's very much worth avoiding on the whole, but worth going on as well is the bobsleigh. That's great fun. It's a long, smooth, enjoyable ride, really good fun. Really surprised how much I enjoyed that ride personally. It was an excellent choice to go on. They do also have a Crate, which is a B&M dive coaster. It's reasonably good. It's probably better than Oblivion, but it's not as good as like Chic or anything like that. It's just a reasonable ride. It's worth going on, and you can go on it as many times as you like, but there are better rides to do. I would highly recommend going on the go-karts. They were an extra €5 when I was there, and they are well worth it. They are a good deal of fun. My mate still hasn't forgiven me for taking them out on them, but oh well. I'm sure we'll find time to have some revenge sooner or later. In terms of food, we only really went to one food place, which is in a beautiful location overlooking the lake in the centre of Heide Park. It's a kind of pizza and pasta place you'd see at places like Alton Towers in the UK. Pretty much I would recommend eating there. It's, generally speaking, you've got a really reasonable size of pizza, and you can pretty much have as many as you like. And I think for the 3 of us it was €44 or something like that, and that included drinks and such. And it's just perfect just during the day. They do have a slight area for thrill rides. It's also worth having a little check around there. They have a few classics like a Top Scan and like a Zodiac style ride or an Enterprise, and they're all right. They're reasonable. It's just not an area you really want to spend much time with. I'd highly recommend kind of bypassing their water rides. They have a Rapid Ride and a Love Flume, both of which are pretty poor. I'm not going to lie, they're not really worth going on. They do have a really good splash battle, which is really good fun, and a really cool pirate ship as well, which is well worth going on. Both of those are towards the front of the park as well, so they're easy to go on and get done. They do also have several slide complexes, which is a little bit strange. They are really good fun as well. I'd highly recommend going on them. There's some near Screen, and there's a really far bigger one towards the food pizza place as well. As we go, overall, it's a pretty easy park to navigate. Kind of lakes in the middle, and there's kind of a big circle around it. So you can either go top or along the bottom to get there. Generally speaking, I found it to be a park full of really polite employees. Not all of them spoke English, not to the same extent as Liseberg, but it was still an acceptable level. You could still get around. Didn't really kind of enjoy the fact that they have a kind of like an entrance plaza and stuff like that. And when we first went there, they actually had a little bit of a small pre-show before going in with some like smoke effects and so on, making some announcements and such before the gates opened, which was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that little bit of a spectacle they had for that. I mean, it wasn't mind blowing, but it was still reasonable. It was a cool little feature they had. They didn't have to do it. Overall, my thoughts on Heide Park are, as I said in my review, fairly positive. There's no real need to stay in the hotels, that's a tip. And I'd recommend going on sides. I recommend avoiding anything by Vekoma. I'd recommend avoiding anything which looks like it might have come from Alton Towers, e.g. the Rita clone. And I would possibly recommend also having a look out for where like some of the trolleys which sell like ice cream and stuff like that. They happen to be a little bit it's quite difficult to explain. They have to be kind of like cash only and stuff like that, so make sure you have quite a few euros with you for like certain stores and stuff. There is a cash point towards Colossus. So overall, I enjoyed Heide Park. It is obviously owned by Merlin, and it's about 210 acres, and it has plenty of space to expand, especially near Colossus. And Merlin hopefully will get around to massively expanding and improving the park sooner or later. It is a park which is relatively cheap to go to, but has surprisingly low visitor figures. About 1.5 million people go there each year. I'm quite surprised. I thought it would be a lot higher. And hopefully it's a park where people might look at it in the UK and be like, yeah, that's a very doable park. It's a very, very 2-day, 3-day park maybe. And Saltire itself is absolutely lovely, and so is Bremen, as it happens. The entire area, the entire little chain to get there is really nice. Anyway, this has been theme park information, and like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever. Do whatever you like, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you very much.